Hey y'all, welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness type of shit. I am Mia.
I'm Christy, and you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends for the next hours. And actually, it won't be an hour because it won't be an hour. Anyway, so our last episode, we talked about the new you in this new year. I mean, again, for those of you, the new year does not begin in January. It actually begins like around this time, springtime. Everything's starting to grow. You have birds like starting to peek out their little nests. Like everything is just like, it is brand new. So we recently celebrated the spring equinox, and this is the season for new birth, and so we're looking forward to all of the caterpillars entering into their butterfly stage.
Yes.
I feel like I just got some new wings, by the way, wings unleashed.
Absolutely.
But thank you all for tuning in. I really wanted to say
that. Also, you guys, we want to send a shout out to everyone who has been supporting the show through our Buy Me Coffee link. We really do appreciate it. Your support. We enjoy providing this to the collective in the way that we do. And it takes time for us to plan the episodes and really be thoughtful and intentional about what it is that we speak about. So when you guys return that energy to us,
thank you.
We so much appreciate it.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Yep.
So what we got?
Okay, so today, as we're entering into the new year, I wanted to remind everyone who's tuning in and listening to this podcast that there are 3 states of living.
Mm-hmm.
You have the past, you have the present, and you have the future. And we're gonna talk about this, just the magic of living in the present.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to discuss more and why it's important to really be in the present and what happens when you're either living in the past or living in the future. We're going to talk more about that. So even with relationships,
it's just, keep, you guys, real quick though, for real, keep in mind that when our thoughts are focused on the past,
yes,
we're still living there. We're still experiencing it. So
some examples.
Like past pain, past breakup, things that, you know what I mean? Like for, even past illness. Yeah. Like if people, there are people who have healed, moved past whatever, infliction or disease, and they're still holding on to that. And everything. Sometimes you'll talk to them and they just keep bringing it up. It's like you're still living there, but your body isn't there anymore. So energetically, you're still there. So past fuck ups.
Yeah.
Y'all, we talk about this all the time. Forgive yourself. But if you keep repeating it in your head, past choices.
Yeah, ruminating.
Yes.
Don't let that ruminate.
I should have. Man.
I can't believe I said that 15 years ago. I can't believe I told that girl that. I can't believe I did that. Like in 7th
Okay.
grade.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not. I'm just gonna have to tell y'all for real. I promise you. I recently had, out the blue, one of those thoughts where, someone that you dealt with in the past. I had the thoughts like, I cannot believe.
Oh, I've had a couple of those.
Even like gave my energy to that, and and you feel like this shame and guilt, like and then the longer you stay there, it's like you're attracting that type of energy. Hey, wait, let me clear this up. No.
Yep.
It happened. It was what it was. It is what it is. I'm fine. I'm good where I am today. But yeah, that happens.
You gotta let that go. And on my walk, you guys, the spring is my favorite season.
It's 83 degrees in Chicago.
It's like almost like a charge or something.
Absolutely.
You start seeing the flowers starting to blossom and things starting to
My
grow.
tulips I planted are growing, y'all.
They are growing, y'all. You see little buds of green. It makes me so happy. I can't even tell you. Like I want to skip down the street and click my heels.
It feels so good.
It does, but it's like I feel like I'm rebirthing. I'm going through this rebirth with nature. And, you know, if you really think about it, our cycles of life, it's the same in nature.
Absolutely.
You know? And
amen, queen.
You really feel it? Like Mia was talking about the wintertime, she had a hard time. Like, it was hard. And for a lot of people, you have like they call it seasonal depression. You know, we are aligned with the cycles of nature. So if you happen to feel like more energized now, think about it. It's the spring.
Wait, you guys, seriously, my 11-year-old daughter said to me this morning, we're getting dressed, getting ready for school and stuff, and she says, "Mommy, I see your glow up. I see you." I was like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Mommy, I see it." She said, "Look at you." I was like, thank you. Okay. So there is something when we allow ourselves to be connected to nature. Even those of us who live in concrete jungles, we still see the cycles coming through. And when we allow ourselves to be in a space where we are new and present, it's amazing.
It really is.
Yes.
So let's talk about living in the past. So I mean, we've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some college boyfriend or maybe some guy that you dated who fucked you over, and you can't let it go.
Yeah, I'm just over here. I just put my head down, like, ooh, child, been
We've
there.
all been through that. You know, the fuck boy. We've all had those seasons where like the bad boy. We've had that. But what happens is when you are constantly like thinking about the past, or I should have done that, or maybe I shouldn't have done this, or what if I did this, you are keeping yourself energetically in the past.
Absolutely. No, Christy. It's allow me to say that this might be a little harsh, but it's an emotional imprisonment that you put yourself in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why are you locking yourself in the past?
No, you're right. And I didn't realize that.
And it's so easy to go into. You know, you just like
live shit.
Yeah.
Oh. You know, I don't know why we do that. When something's painful, we like to relive it.
Especially when it's something that was painful that you've gotten. That you know you're in a new space. I'm not. Even, that's not who I am anymore. Yeah. That's not what my life is anymore. That's not the. If today I would not make that same choice, and we have a difficult time forgiving ourselves. And what happens is it can cause you to feel depressed and sad, fearful or shameful. Like these, you know, if there's one thing that if one of these emotions I would really love for people to kind of, if we could just toss it away, is shame. Shame can just go.
You know, I don't know.
Shame can go.
Do I have shame? I don't know if I have shame.
Did you have shame before? I've definitely had some things that I was I felt shameful for.
About my body. I mean,
oh my goodness. I definitely had some things that I had. And it's just me. You know what I mean? In my, like, it's shame for. And I've had these conversations with myself where I'm kind of beating myself up. And I've said this to you guys before. I would justify this literal emotional and spiritual kicking my own butt by justifying that I'm just being reflective. I'm just making sure I don't, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, because I'm just being reflective and making sure I don't make the same mistake. But I'm literally ruminating over some bullshit. And it's just like that. Why?
I caught myself doing that maybe like a week ago or something. And I was like, Christy, let it go. I actually had to say it out loud. Christy, let it go.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I feel you.
It doesn't even make sense for you to be holding on to it. Just let it go.
It's not even.
Right.
It's not here.
It's not my business.
It's in the past.
Just let it go.
Now, I will say, living in the past is different from enjoying memories that bring you joy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
it's
different.
Even
because as a divorcee, thinking about your wedding, at that moment in time, that was a good memory. Mm-hmm. So if you want to think about the past, think about the good things about it and bring that with you, bring that energy with you. Yeah. Instead of this dude did this and he was abusive and blah, 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 blah. It's like I had a moment in time with this person where there was joy. Yeah. And if I'm going to go back to the past and think about it, just, you know what I mean? But you can leave that crap in the past.
So I heard someone say that, if you have, and I guess I never thought about this, but if you're having problems like manifesting stuff, it could be because you're really not in the present. You're either in the future or you're in the past. And like all of those like emotional or like just when you're not aligned or like balanced, it'll throw things off, and I never thought about that.
And collective, we talked about this as in terms of regardless of where you were, you are in a new place, period. Yeah. There has been an energetic shift. People have had the opportunity to choose who and what they want to be in this space, how they want to live their life. It was so apparent in front of everybody's face. And there are people who chose, I want to go back this way, I'm going to go this way. That's their free will, and that's their choice. People gonna do what they do. But if you're in a new cycle, if you're in your spring of your life, why do you want to ruminate about winter? It's not cold outside. If you are in the spring of your life, why do you want to go back to winter? Why do you want to relive that winter? It's beautiful outside. You want to sit up there and go, man, remember when it was so much snow? I hated being inside. Why are you sitting inside looking at the birds chirping, flowers blooming, and everybody's happy?
I will say, the only time I was really thinking about the future is during winter. I'm like, man, I can't wait till spring or summer.
Near the end of the winter. Yeah.
I'm like, it's just gray and everything is
here comes the sun.
Right. So I use that, and you guys, I'm wearing yellow. Me, I can tell you, I don't wear a lot of colors, but
girl, you're glowing, honey. It's giving yellow. Oshun. It's giving sunshine. It's giving life.
Yes.
It's giving sparkle.
Send it.
Twinkle, twinkle, baby.
I heard that's a new word. Send it. In my herbal class, we were throwing it out there like, send it! I'm drinking a roasted dandelion tea with a little bit of, burdock. Send it!
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Okay, sorry.
So let's get on the future.
Ooh, yeah.
Now wait, so here's the thing. Okay, I will say this about future. This one I think is a little more complicated.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes when we think about the future, we're thinking about things that we are trying to manifest and that will bring us joy. But there's also this anxiety. When you're in a space in your life where my life is changing, things are different, but you have anxiety about what that's going to look like. It's not even here, but you are creating an energy of anxiety around you that hasn't even happened yet. So if you're going, you know what I mean? So that's why I said this one's a little bit more difficult, because you can think about, do what you want, but if you think about the future and you're thinking about the joy that's to come, I feel like that is a little more intentional for your manifestation, as opposed to being afraid. I just had to point to myself, Mia, of what it looks like. Even though you know what you want, you know what you're building, you know what you're working on, you know what you're manifesting, that means that some things have to be let go, and there's some trust that you have to walk out on.
Absolutely.
For yourself.
No, absolutely. And so as you had mentioned manifestation, because I do feel like there are some little layers in here that I didn't really think about until we started having this conversation. But when you manifest things, you don't want to constantly think, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want, because when you put the energy out there, it's like, okay, well, it's a little, just let it.
You're gonna keep wanting it,
right? You're gonna continue to put yourself in this energetic space that you're gonna continue to want it. So when you want to manifest something, you put it out there, and it's like you put it out and you leave it. So there is a difference. Like thinking of the good again. This is the type of energy that you're bringing into, like, that feels good and that feels juicy and that feels rich and that feels,
So I would say that one of the more powerful ways that I think about the future but still stay present is whatever it is that I want in my life, I feel that feeling.
Yes.
And I'm telling it.
Like once you receive it,
like you know what I mean? Like I feel the feeling as if it's happening now. I feel that feeling. So I bring that into my present energy. So it can't there's nothing it can't do but to come to me.
Right.
Because I'm already living it. But I know consciously what I'm doing is preparing myself for what's to come. Right. But I'm living here in that energy. And that's the trick.
that's different, because there are some people that will overthink what's to come, or there are some people that will like anticipate the worst case scenario for what's to come, and that brings a different energy into your space. Again, we want to look at the energy, like the good energy that will feed into what we're wanting to manifest. So if you're bringing that anxiety, that type of anxious energy, or that type of energy that you don't really,
it's fear.
Yeah.
And it false evidence appearing real, is that the acronym that people use? Yeah. I think this is a great space in this conversation to where that acronym is very real. Whatever you are fearing, you are creating, especially if it's something for the future. You know?
Say that.
Seriously. It's true. Whatever you are fearing, and I'm so scared this is going to happen, you're literally creating that energy around you.
And you know what's so funny? Like, once you start having that type of like mindset, when people say things, it's like, why would you all of a sudden think that? Like, for instance, you know that we're planning this conference, and someone was like, oh yeah, I reached out to this news outlet, and they're going to come, blah blah blah. And the person responded, oh my gosh, well, I hope that we have people attend. I'm like, why would you even think that?
Why would you even say that?
And I said, you know what? Nope, I'm not doing
that.
I was like, no. I was like, I'm believing. Like, I know that there are going to be people that will come. I know that this event is going to be successful.
Okay, you just said that for us, too, because, this conversation we just had prior to. I'm like, thank you, Christy.
Yeah.
Thank you for those beautiful words.
I've been doing that a lot, and sometimes I just want to kick myself. Like, okay, just shut up.
So, let's get to the juicy part.
So the magic of living in the present, and it's hard, you guys. It's not easy. It really isn't. But it's almost like, okay. So the woman that worked out at our gym, she is passing, like actively dying. She had colon cancer. No, wait, what? No, we'll talk about it.
Okay.
But it's like, if you receive news that tomorrow you have to, like, or, you see a doctor and then you have 2 weeks to live, each moment becomes more precious, more, like, you are hyper-focused in everything that you do, because you know
every moment counts.
Every moment counts.
You know what I wonder? Just, spitballing, me and my imagination. I wonder how the world would be different if when we were born, everybody got their deadline. Like, you are passing from this avatar at this age.
Right.
When you were born, everybody knew it. They knew their timeline. How would you live your life if you knew?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So think about it.
Some people kind of know.
But I mean, how would you live your life differently in terms of every moment means something, and also you would have less fear. Think about it. If you knew,
absolutely.
I don't care what age it is. If you knew, my timeline is 65. No matter what I do, 65 is when I signed up to walk on.
Do everything.
You're not going. There's nothing you will fear.
Right.
Nothing. So why can't we live in the moment as if we know, because we do know that this life is coming to an end, and everyone always and everyone always says, life is too short, but it's not short when you really think about the fact that all this life that I'm living as Mia will come to an end at some point.
Yeah.
Everybody who is listening to this right now, in this avatar, in this space, in this 3D reality, in this matrix, there's an end to this. Yeah. And if you know that without fearing it, it makes every moment so freaking precious, man.
It really does. Like, okay, so we're in Mia's place right now, and the sun that is like coming through and like shining on her tulips.
Girl, it's like beautiful.
On this purple, and then we're sipping rosé. The day is beautiful. The sun is.
I'm in my bag, man. I'm happy.
Send it.
Wait, Chris, I'm gonna wear that out. I'm going to wear that out.
I'm gonna say this every day. But no, like, you live your life completely different. Like that that bowl of ice cream you allow yourself to eat, it just tastes so succulent, and oh my gosh, like these flavors, they're things that you've never tasted before. Or if you're watching a sunrise, you're like, oh my goodness, I never realized those colors. Like, who would put those colors together?
Christy, you know what? I do feel like there was a certain point in my spiritual journey where my eyes were like, I'm like a child.
Yeah.
I see
Everything
everything
is new.
new. That's the dopest shit ever.
It really
like,
is.
I get excited about everything.
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
like so I mean, it could be anything. And for
Something
some
so
reason,
small.
something changed at some point. And again, you know, with life, I didn't realize it until probably it had been going on for a while. And I'm like, wait a minute. I see things really different
I really
now.
do.
And I love that I can experience something that I've seen a million times, like the moon. And look at it, and it's so freaking beautiful to me, like I've seen it for the first time ever. I can look at my daughter; she gets on my nerves all the time. But sometimes I can be in the moment where we're talking or we're having dinner, and I could just be like, "Oh my God, like I love this little girl. Like I can't believe it." You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at it like if this. Ooh, I almost started crying. I look at life now, and I want to make sure that if it all ended tonight, I'm high. And that's because I'm living in the present. So if we accept what has occurred, the things from our past, you know, that sometimes we'll hold on to, we accept that for creating the beautiful, magical, dope ass being that you are right now. And be excited and appreciative for what your life is today. Because I don't care what anybody says. Who you are today, there is something from the past that has helped create that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? All of it has helped create it. It's all a part, you know, it's all on your album. Everybody got an album. Your past, that's one of your tracks. You know, you might have a 3-part album. That's one of your... You know, these experiences are one of the tracks of your life, but you have a choice as to which track you're gonna play. So why would we play the track that hurt you? So when you're living in the present, play the track that brings you like peace, joy, understanding, clarity.
And I do feel like living in the present does allow you to look at things from a new perspective. And so when you are able to live in that space, that's like the best energy to work with when you're manifesting.
Absolutely. Well,
I mean, like it's just like this.
Well, think about it. Being at peace with where you are today.
Right.
It sounds so simple, but I do think it's one of the more magical things that we can do for ourselves, like right now, today. You know?
I agree. So, all right. So things like when you live in the present, I'll say this for me. I'm not as anxious. You know, because I'm not thinking about what happened yesterday. I'm not thinking about what I need to do like tomorrow. I'm in the present. I'm not focusing on anything else but that moment. As if it were its last, you know? So it's like when you live in that space, you're not as anxious.
You know, wow. Okay, you just made me think about, we have one of our good girlfriends, her son passed away. And Easter Sunday. And of course it's been difficult for her. And we're all there for her. And actually, that's why we are doing a shorter episode today, because we have dinner tonight for her 50th birthday, which is amazing, right? And she's also coming off of dealing with her son passing. And it just happens, it's fresh and new. But one thing I noticed when we were at our home, and, we're all sitting outside just cracking jokes, she allowed herself to be in that moment. To enjoy, even if, because she's going in and out, back and forth with herself. But when she's having a moment where she can feel love and joy, and she allows that to happen. And I saw her do that, and it almost made me cry, because I was like, fuck, this life is damn beautiful. Like and then, then she goes like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to see him again. Yeah. And then she'll have a moment where she allows herself to be in the space that she's at. And even witnessing someone allowing themselves to be where they at, wherever they are at that moment, is damn beautiful. It really is. Yeah. So it enhances being present in the moment where you are. As my mom says, wherever your feet are, that's where you are. It enhances your gratitude for your life. You're so grateful.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just like, I did this. I have such gratitude. No matter what has happened, if you're still here having this, listening to this, that means you've been through it. That means you're past it. So let's be here.
Right. Why live in the past?
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to help.
That's not going to help.
Right.
Well, then there's, we want to, another reason why we're having this conversation is we realize that collectively people had a choice, right? So allowing yourself to be present, I think, because we're always talking about how can we share what we've learned to help people live their lives daily. It's not always some far reaching, like, oh, you have to study and do this. It's really just, this is something you can do right now. And so one of the reasons we're having this conversation is because it's a perfect time. It's spring. It's beautiful. Right. Things are changing. and we've been talking about this happening for months. Institutions that we have trusted and believed in. We've been talking about this. Are falling right before our eyes.
Being pulled off
yes.
Of our eyes.
But here's the thing. You have a choice.
Right.
So if... I'm not even about to get it. You all know what's going on in the world, right? Things are changing. But you have a choice for your life and how you want to live in this world, no matter what the hell is going on around you. You know that no matter what happens, you can adjust because you're still here. You know that you are resilient because you're still here. So as this fear mongering is happening in the news, and this conspiracy theorist, and then this, guess what? Whatever is going to happen is going to freaking happen. So why in the hell aren't you where you are right now? Instead of thinking about, oh, now the Fed Up app, whatever the hell that thing is called, they're going to, you don't know. We truly don't necessarily know what will be presented for us, but we always have the opportunity to choose how we're going to live our life. Yep. So I think this is such an appropriate conversation for the time collectively. Mm-hmm. You choose. Do you want to live in fear or do you want to live in love? That's your choice.
Come on. We all want to live in love.
We say we do, but when given the opportunity, do we always choose love?
No, we don't always choose.
We're working on it, though. We're in progress.
We're in progress. So what would you say is your takeaway?
I think I probably just said it. The dopest thing to me about living in the present is reminding you that you always have a choice. You always have a choice about how you want to see something, how you react to something, what you expose yourself to. So in your daily life, people talk about living mindfully. This is truly, how am I about to react to this? What am I going to do? I have that choice. So guys, remember, living in the present, you have your choice. What you got? Because you can't change the past.
No, you can't.
And you don't know tomorrow. So your choice is today.
Right.
Sorry.
Well, so I think, how am I supposed to follow that up? But I do think that once you get to a certain point, you realize that you just look at life differently and your approach to life is differently. So you are so present. Like the more you go through your spiritual journey, you just become more present. And I had a moment, of course, which happens, where I wanted to stress about something that was to come, and I had to like pull myself back and say like, no, you need to. This is what the circumstance is. So whatever it is, just deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not gonna make sense to worry about what could happen or you should have done something differently. This is it.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
either a lesson or whatever. But it's just, you know, there's so much magic living in the present. That's my takeaway. There's so much magic in the present. Like, the energy is just different. You really appreciate things. You appreciate people. You appreciate life. Like, everything is just special.
You know what, Christy, for real, having an appreciation for life is not something that although it probably would be nice if it was natural to us.
Right? No,
it's not.
No. Well, because things are set up for it to be that way too. I feel like, you know, we're not supposed to like love ourselves and.
Boo! We are. So, okay, guys, this is simple work, really quick. For the next 36 hours, be present. I want you guys to consciously, okay, I'm going to give you an example. I mean, when I say consciously be aware of the fact that you get to choose what you want to do and who you want to be right in this moment. So I'm going to give you an example. You're driving. Somebody cuts you off. They give you the finger. You have a choice right now. Are you going to match that energy, allow that icky energy jump from their car into your car, and have you over here cursing them out, flipping them the finger, honking the horn, and this? Do you know what I mean? Like you, or you can say, you know what, you got it, baby. Go ahead. I'm not in a rush.
That happened.
You got
on
it.
The way here.
Oh, I believe this.
Although traffic. I was like, "Hey, truck!" Oh well.
So, this try. I said 36. I'm sorry, I'm at 48. I was trying to say 2 days. So literally, just try it for the next 2 days and see how transformational every day can be, just by allowing yourself to say, hey, let me be conscious. And here's the thing. You might choose, I am choosing. I know I have a choice, and I am choosing. I'm going to follow them down the street and honk my horn at them. But don't feel any shame or guilt or make yourself feel bad for what you're choosing. Be honest with yourself about who it is that you want to be and who you are being.
Ooh.
Okay, what's our crystal?
All right, you all. I feel like it's been forever since I've had a crystal of the week. But this week's crystal is cryolite. So the element of this crystal is storm. It's good for all the chakras.
Ooh, storm.
Soul star. So the energies. You said what?
Can you close this out? I'm gonna go get dressed ready.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Christy got y'all. Love y'all.
Bye. Mia's just stepping away because as she mentioned, we're heading to this event. So the energies of this crystal focuses on human evolution, which is defined as the awakening of our awareness to the intelligence of the heart and partnering of the most evolved areas of the brain with that particular intelligence. And so this crystal cryolite creates an ongoing moment-to-moment surrendering to the intelligence of the heart, which equals surrender to the ever-flowing intention of divine purpose. So this crystal is very useful in eliminating negative thought patterns. We had talked about like living in the past, living in the future, or internal dialogue, like how we're talking to ourselves, and acts as a mental purifier, helping to eliminate confusion. So if we really want clarity, this is a really good crystal to work with. So this crystal can help in connecting with one's spiritual conscious, and also acting from a place of alignment with divine will. So I thought this was a great crystal for this episode, and that is today's episode. I know it's a little shorter than usual, but you all, we really and truly thank you for listening to our podcast. Please share with other people. Please, tell a friend, tell a relative that you think, could possibly use some of this information. If you're, whatever platform you're listening to us on, please share your review, because that helps us. Like, we really want to know, like, what you all think, how we can help. And you guys can find us. You can either email us at info@twoqueens@crystalthings.com, or you can DM us on IG at 2queenscrystalthings. And don't forget to follow our personal pages. Mia's page is Wings Unleashed 444, and then my page is Christy R. Edwards. That's CHRISTIE R. Edwards. I think that is it, and you guys can find my shop from there. So, you guys, thank you. Light, peace, love, and soul. We thank you for tuning in with us, and we love you.